Mm-hmm.
Dizzle, did you think I was frozen there? I had you looking. What's happening, Fish and friends? Welcome to another live. I was wondering if people were thinking, "Oh my gosh, I'm froze." Dizzle, you looked froze there for a second. Tonight, man, I'm excited tonight. Got I tried to spice it up here, give y'all folks a fancy banner to look at. I'm not good at doing it, and I noticed around my tackle warehouse thing when I did the erase thing, I didn't get the X and the little things around it. But hey, I tried to make it a little fancy, try to share some love to the companies that support me, love it or hate it. I've got sponsors, lots of people have sponsors. That's the way it is for some of us. So appreciate them reaching out to me and helping out. But tonight's going to be fun because it's cold weather, Dizzle. It was cold as balls the last couple days, waking up. But I see next week we're supposed to have highs near record, like 66 or 67, I think, on
60s,
Tuesday or something.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Pretty
that's
sweet.
ridiculous.
I'll take that. I've got to say though, I'm pretty excited this year for ice fishing. I don't know if you're gonna be here, if you're gonna be living in the Nebraskis for the next 5 months, but
there's no ice. There's never going to be ice ever again.
Global warming. Hey, no ice, man. Yeah, all the guys and gals out at Gunnersville today. I saw I don't know what the hell y'all call it, the something KBF yak fishing nerds or whatever. Gramps and Jermaine saying hi. I saw the Burley guys over there. Miss Carol Ferg. Who else? Liza. Whole bunch of people out there. I saw posts on Instagram out there having fun. Looks like a super good time. Everybody be safe. Oh, Wendell caught his new PB. It was just under 7 pounds, I think, 22 something inches. So keep kicking butt out there, you yak fishing nerds. Looks fun. Maybe I'll be joining the yak gang soon. But I also want to thank, like Jermaine, like I said, my members, everybody that pays on a monthly basis to help support me. Blows me away. Love y'all. Hey, listen, talk about one of the hardest working guys in YouTube right now. Even old Luke Duncan, which I don't really know the guy, but Basky got shouted out by him too on a podcast. He's a good cat. Hey, listen, Hank, if you're free, you're welcome to jump in. Your sexy face would definitely get more views and people on the stream. So feel free to text me if you're open. But anyway, yeah, and go Hawks real quick. I know people don't like the sports ball talk, most of them, but Hawks finally had a game where they had more than like 20 yards of offense, put it together in the second half. I think they had over 400 yards. So that's pretty cool. Iowa got the win over the old Scarlet Knights. So love it. It was a fun night. But Dizzle, let's talk cold water fishing. So I know we touched on it last week for you. You caught a big one, almost, what was it, 4.5? What were you doing, or what do you do this time of year? So water last weekend here in the area was 47 degrees. Today, I would assume it was in the mid to low 40s. It's chilly as I'll get out this morning, 32. I think we got out there. I met up with Chris Russ in here again. We met up, tried to get Dizzle out, but he had the work things to do. Dang it. So we went out and caught a few, nothing too crazy, but he took your place and was catching them on the finesse jig. So it was basically like
nice
having Dizzle there, except Chris brings me donuts. He makes fun of me and catches jig fish, but he brings me donuts at least. So makes it better.
I tell you what, God, when was it I went out, was it last Sunday? I went out too. I think I went out on Sunday also, but anyway, I was throwing a swim jig, man. I've been swim jigging the heck out of them.
Yeah, see, now he sends me some snotty text of like, "Oh, I never throw a swim jig." Sends me one of him throwing it again. I'm like, dude, I honestly don't remember you throwing a swim jig that much. Like you're an underspin guy. Is usually your go-to. I feel like.
Yeah. So I actually I had what did it take 5 combos with me. So 5, totally different lure setups or what rig setups or whatever. And I caught fish on every single one of them that I took, which is very rare that I take all the combos and they're all successful. some more than others, but so the chatterbait and the swim jig actually were dynamite. I think it's, the way that you get the skirt to kind of just fluff out when you kind of stop it and kill it, it makes it look like a better meal than anything else. It was one of those days. God, I think it was like 10, 15, 20. I don't know. I lost count. I wasn't paying attention. There wasn't anything of size. So it
Damn,
was
that's
one of
awesome,
those
dude.
debate of, oh, do you want to catch big fish or do you want to catch a lot of fish? This outing was a lot of fish and not complaining.
Yeah, I love those days, man. I'll never complain, even if they're like pound and a halfers. I love the days you just go out and it's like every few casts. Today they were very few and far between. I think we got out there at 8, stayed till like I don't remember 1:32, something like that. And I think I
Mm.
maybe only had 6 fish, so it was a grinder. Kind of the same for Chris, I think. I did catch my very first BFS bait caster fish.
Oh
I was
yeah.
throwing an inline spinner on the SLX BFS. Caught a little cute little baby crappie. So it was fitting on the first one to catch a dink. But it was fun. I was throwing an 1/8 ounce Manor spin, which is another one of the inline spinners I really like. I like the rooster tail. Those are my all-time favorite go-to. I really like those minnow spins though. I just don't throw inline spinners a ton. Back in the day, it was only rooster tail, so I haven't really experimented with a ton of them. I know MEPS, a lot of the hardcore spinner people love the MEPS, but I don't. I think I own like 2 MEPS is all. I'm not really throwing them much, but yeah, throwing the inline spinner is fun. I wanted to get out. I remember what day it was. Shortly after they did the trout stocking and throw some inline spinners for some stock trout.
Mm.
They're a bunch of fun, man. On a little ultralight, I've got a little ultralight spinning setup. They're a blast to catch. People make fun of it because like, oh, they're stock, they'll eat anything. It's like I see a lot of people out there not catching crap. You throw an inline spinner on and they're a blast. So
Well, there was that day that you and I went and threw my reel off my rod. But anyway, I couldn't catch anything, and I was throwing very similar to what you were, but I had no luck, and you were clobbering them.
yeah, they're fun. For me, it was the Ned rig today. That's kind of been that's one of my crutch cold water baits. I'm not gonna lie. Ned rig when it gets cold. The past few outings has been a Ned rig um, kind of deal. At least some of the fish on the Ned rig. Um, I haven't gotten a good lipless bite, and I didn't really get on a good jerkbait bite. I caught a few jerkbait fish, but I haven't gotten on the killer lipless bites that we normally do, where it's like you go out and just smash them on a lipless. I think I
Hmm.
missed it. And this spring, kind of the same thing. I had a few, a handful here and there, but yeah, which kind of makes me sad. Jerkbait, I think, would definitely be a different deal if I would have been fishing from the boat today. And a lot of the spots, that's just the way it is, for the jerkbait fishing shallow, because I like to do a suspending or a slow sinking.
Hmm.
You almost need that floating for most places, that we fish, unless you've got a real steep, where you're at up here and it's a real steep drop off where you can work your jerk bait and bring it back up. But if it's a real gradual drop off, you catch anything coming back to you, it's just kind of tough. If it's a suspending slash sinking. Now you can work it as you get closer to you can work it rod tip up. Usually I'm working a jerk bait tip down. You can switch to tip up as you're getting closer, and that does help bring it up a little bit, but still they can be kind of a pain to fish from the bank. I was gonna throw a mag draft today. It wasn't a mag draft. I forget which one it was. One like that, a larger paddle tail, but I didn't even bring it. I would love to get a bunch of 37-inch pike on a mag draft. Hell yes, dude.
That
Absolutely.
would be neato.
Yeah, I didn't have a good pike year either. I only caught a couple pike this year. Nothing to write home about. Sucked. So it's been a weird year. I was telling Dizzle, this is one of the years I've fished the least. Like actually being able to go out and fish. Um, so yeah, I appreciate the hell out of everybody that stays with me and watches and supports the shows, because I know that some of the videos I didn't even get a video out this week, with family stuff and stuff going on. I didn't even get one out. So gonna try to make up for it with the cold weather coming up. That's kind of the second part we're gonna hit on tonight is some gear reviews. So we'll do some more cold water fish talk, but had a number of questions about the Daiwa Tatula 100. Will that be one that I'm reviewing? Absolutely. As of right now, I think it's probably my favorite piece of gear of the year. I really like the reel. Kind of a Daiwa fanboy. I'll admit it.
You
But
you know what I would kind of like? A few more likes on this video. You're on this live. 176 people watching, 63 likes. Come on, guys. It's free. Gals, it's free. Individuals, it's free. Hit the like button.
Do the
Help out
likey
old
thummy
Debo.
up thing. It's free. It's free if you like it. If you don't like it, go watch somebody else. That's cool too. I always say YouTube and stuff. People have asked me like, how do you get over that when people leave me comments? It's like, man, to me, it's like music. You know, I can have a band. I love Slipknot. I'll say that to some people and they look at me like I'm possessed. Like, oh my God, they're so scary. You listen to that? You're awful. Those people are horrible. So it's like, yeah, people like me. Cool. They don't. It's all right. I still love you. We'll agree to disagree. But cold water baits. Yeah. Ned rig, that's been a crutch for a long time for me. Like, it's just such a fun bait to go out, find fish. And that's the thing too, is even if you don't, like, you know, if you're one of these people that say, oh, they, you know, they don't catch, you know, fish of size, you can at least find, you know, use it to find fish too. If you're a bank guy with no electronics or you're just maybe unsure, that's kind of a good way to find out if there's fish there, and then maybe switch over to a jig or, you know, something else where you think you can get that bigger bite. It's good, just a good way to find some fish too. And even break, you know, if you're really struggling, it, you know, it's kind of like basketball. You just need to see the ball go through the hoop at least once. You know, if you just need to catch a couple fish sometimes too, you know, downsize, catch a couple, then switch up, you know, figure out the rhythm where they're at. Are they on the bottom of the drop offs? Are they suspended out in the middle, you know, off the drop off 10 feet down or whatever? You know, it kind of gives you a little bit of other things to use to figure that out if you don't have, you know, boat and electronics and live scope and all that.
So would you, as far as like a Ned throwing right now, would you stick with your traditional Ned plastic? Like your little stick bait plastic? I don't know, guess whatever you want to refer to those kind of baits as, or
Like a TRD.
yeah, are you going like a TRD? Are you going the little stick bait shape? Or are you going something? What
Yeah,
specifically would you be using right now?
I personally do. Chris actually asked me today if I like, you know, fishing the Ned rig, if I could only have one um Ned rig plastic forever, what would it be? I'm like, damn, that's a hard question. I said probably the big TRD. Like, it seems to work all year. I could throw it now. That was my first fish of the year in cold water. Actually, me and Chris went out, caught it on the large TRD Ned rig. So it works all year. Today I was just throwing the regular Ned rig, and I'll show some of this now. Um, Tackle Warehouse does have their they call it Black November sale, because it's like, it's not just a Black Friday deal. They have sales all of November, but it's weird because they like have certain weeks. I don't like it. Again, I'm an old man,
Hmm.
get off my yard. But so like if you miss a week, like I'll show you here, I'll take that down. Actually, Fishing Fix, I'm going to save that and grab that later. And this banner thing doesn't work when you share. That's interesting. I should have thought of that. Let's just get that off
Hmm.
here. Okay, so when we go into the Warehouse of Tackle, of course, I left my link below. I did partner up with them. If you purchase anything over there, use my link. A little bit of that goes back to me. And if you find sales somewhere else, please feel free to go over there. Why is my mouse jacked up? Omnia has 20% off now. I did just put an order in with them. So if you're looking for some good deals, what's going on here? Oh, I'm already at
I
the
don't
page.
know.
So if you go here and shop this, but anyway, yeah, Omnia has 20% off now. American Legacy has some good sales. I'm trying to think who else. Those are kind of the big three that I shop at. So like this one, so I was looking at some terminal tackle and stuff. They had some really good sales. That week's over. So that's all off sale now, which kind of stinks. So
Hmm.
now when you go in, gosh, this mouse, I've got to get a new mouse. So now it's like certain percentages off these things, frogs, certain baits. So you can go, and I was looking, Berkeley had some good stuff, you know, some things for sale. They've got the new Swamp Lord. I did pick some up. If you all saw on the unboxing, didn't get to catch any fish on them because it's a bit too cold here in Iowa, but they do look like they're going to be a good frog, nice and soft, good solid hooks. Then, you know, the regular Berkeley stuff, they had some worms. I do like those. I like those crash craws. Those are nice. You know, just the regular Berkeley stuff. So you can go through that. Savage gear, I really don't use much of. I did look through. They had some frogs. I do have a couple of these frogs, which are pretty good. So this reminded me of, I don't know if you all, or Dizzle, if you throw realistic craw baits very much. You've got these marked down to $1.99. I don't know if it depends on the color. Ooh, I really like that one. Damn, that looks like ours around here, dude.
They do.
I really
Early
like that one.
spring, yeah.
Wow. So I've never tried these, and the reason I bring that up is because let's see if they have them on here. HD Tackle, I got it in my Monster Bass box this month, and from HD Tackle, are they not on? I thought I got my Helgramites here. HD, is it called something else? What's that brand? Is it an HD something?
Is it Live HD? Is
I
it
don't know.
HD Live?
Live Target. Well, anyway, HD. I thought it was HD something. Anyway, they had these craws in there that looked super lifelike, and was kind of excited to try them on a Ned rig. Now that I see these, especially for $1.99, I said to myself, no more orders till the end of the year. I'm saving up to get
Tackle
some Christmas
HD?
presents. Oh, that's what it is. Tackle HD. Yes, good job there, Dizzle. Tackle HD. Okay. So there's the Helgramites, proven to for sure catch snapping turtles. Every time I've thrown them, they've only caught me snapping turtles. But this is what came in the box, and these things looked really good. Once I got them out, like the little legs are soft, the claws are soft, pinchers are soft. Oh, they got some good ones too. Look at that one, Dizzle. That's us all over.
That's a good one, yeah. What was that?
Dang.
What is that color? I can't see
Green
it.
pumpkin
Pumpkin.
blue. So that's like your blue craw. And then that black and blue. Ooh. So I've never used one of these. I know, like back in the day, I think I got some of the craw pappies from Yum, which Yum has their stuff on sale too. I think that's what they're called. They have like the hole in the butt for like a tube jig deal. Yum actually has some really good sales. The swimming dinger, great little bait. I like the spine craw. I'm probably going to be in the minority here, but I've never liked the Christie craw. I know a lot of people like that one. I've never been a fan of it. Got dingers on sale. Love the Yum dingers. How about this? Helgramites had really good luck on those this spring. $2.62 a pack. Ned dingers,
Nice.
$2.62 a pack. But this, craw bug, that's what it's called. So I got some of these craw bugs at Walmart, but I didn't realize they had like a big hole in the butt for like a tube to go into it. So I didn't really like that because I got them like to fish as a Ned rig. So maybe there's a different way to rig them, but
Yeah,
so
how did you go about trying to rig those?
well, so like the whole thing is hollow here. So it's meant, I assume it's meant for like a tube jig head is how it was meant to be fished. And that's not what I wanted. At the time when I bought them a long time ago, I didn't know they had, and now it would actually probably be really nice to try a stupid tube head in there. So it's weedless.
Yeah.
I'm not big on the stupid tube. And I didn't even know about a stupid tube head back. This has been years ago when I bought them, and I just never tried them since. But those came in my box, and I was like, ooh, damn, these little craws look really good. They've got
So when
these
you
two,
do
this Ned craw.
so when you were if you were to rig those, you wouldn't go through the head first like you normally would with almost all of the other baits. You'd have to go through
Yeah, so
the
the whole
bottom
thing's like,
first and
yeah, like the whole bottom. I was trying to pick one of these that shows you, but like this, oh, here. So this whole part is like hollow here. So you stick your tube jig head in here, and then you can pop it to make it look like a craw doing its stuff. I'm sure there's other ways to rig them, but that was just my first kind of experience with them. So I wanted like a more solid body. So either those Savage Gear, those HDs, to me both looked really good. So chat, let me know. I'm going to check chat here in a second. But also Strike King has some of the faves on sale. KBD, I like these, the hogs, because they come in. They better still. Tequila Sunrise Orange Flake pops if you're watching. They do come in Tequila Sunrise. I think I gave Dad some of those. Rodents are good. Let's see. Do they have any of the? Oh, they don't have any of the rage bugs or anything. That's lame.
that is lame.
The fries are good. If you look at like a different type of wacky rig, the ring fries are good. They've got a few good ones, but yeah, so there's some sales to go look at. And then they have like the upcoming deal here too. But each week, that's the sales. And then after the week's over, they're gone. So I don't know if that's to help cut down on, because I know like during Black Friday and Christmas, when they do those sales, they get pretty backed up and shipping takes forever. So I don't know if that's kind of a way for them to What about frog hooks? Patrick said. I know that's kind of a way for them, or I would assume that's kind of a way for them to help kind of stack that so they don't get, where'd Dizzle
Whoa.
go? Dizzle, where are you? Here, we'll put
Hmm.
Dizzle on top. He gets upset when he's on the bottom. He's a top type of guy here. Let's see. If we go into frogs, I don't remember if they had frog hooks. I think it was just frogs. They had some good ones in here. Like I said, the Swamp Lords, I think those are going to be a good frog. I do have these. I've used those at the back of ChatterBaits, or not ChatterBaits, Buzzbaits. These really, which is just a horny toad. Pad crashers for $5. Good deal. I remember Walmart used to be able to get them like under $5. I swear they were like $4.99.
They used to be.
Jackal Kiara, I know Dizzle really likes that one. This is his go-to frog, though. We know for sure he throws these 98% of the time, even though he tries to lie to us. Let's see. That's about it. Yeah, so nothing too crazy on the frog stuff. Savage Gear, I think I've just thrown these a little bit, not much. Yeah. So no frog hooks. I think that was in the last week's terminal sales. They had frog hooks and all that, Patrick, which now guess what? You missed it. You can't get them on sale anymore. So yeah, I don't like that deal at all, but I don't work there. It's not my deal. Again, I'm sure it's a way for them to get around some of that. Let's see. Game Hawk people talking about stuff. Savage. Ooh. Savage HG Craw Texas rig. Shh. Yeah, Nick, those craws look really good. Oh, that's interesting. Michael, good tip here. He said fill the cavity 1/2 with a stick worm on those craws. Then you could, I assume,
Oh.
Texas rig it or Ned rig it or whatever. That's interesting.
Interesting.
Let's see. Assassin, that's come up pretty much every week. They gone downhill with their sales. Yeah, I feel like the Christmas sales are better than the Black Friday sales. It's been 2 years ago I got the arc rod for like $35. That's still one of my favorite budget rods. See, I think maybe the Christmas ones, but yeah, their website that's not good. Not good. Kistler spinning rods. I don't think I own any of the spinning rods. I have some of their casting rods, like them. Some of them are a little tip heavier than others. But overall, they make really good rods. Really nice people, too. I've got to talk to them before. Let's see. Nicholas said he was not impressed with Kistler. He said, I wasn't impressed by mini rods. This is why I started building them. Yeah, plus even like catching them on your own rod, that'd be pretty damn rewarding. So that'd be pretty hard to beat. But yeah, in my opinion, I think Kistler's got some good rods. I definitely used a number of them and liked them. Oh, really? They're not doing the 25 days of Christmas? That's lame as hell. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. So cold water, what else? Cold water, like for me, it seems like my staples are always a suspending jerkbait. Every year I catch some on it. This year, not as good as other years. But I also didn't get out as much, so it's not really fair to say that. But a suspending jerkbait and a Ned rig, if those are two baits that you've never used or don't really use a lot, I would give them a go. And then leading up to that fall, or I guess coming into that fall deal, spinnerbait, because you've got those days where it's windy, you've got those fronts coming through, and for me, a spinnerbait is always just one. Now, I'm glad you said the chatterbait too, because that seems to be one picking up more in popularity, where you can slow roll it. You know, those jetties and stuff that we fish, you can kind of slow roll and even stop it. And now they've got so many different types. You can go the Mini Max. I know a lot of people say the Mini Max does so much better in the colder weather. The Evo, I did get to test out the Evo. I like them. I think they're a nice little chatterbait. Chris and I were
Was there
talking
anything
today.
specific about it that felt different, or?
No, that's what me and Chris were talking. I don't feel like it's got the same vibration. Starts up right away. It's consistent, which is a big thing. The biggest thing that I noticed is when you pop it. So like when you're reeling it and stop and pop it, it has a really cool darting hunting action. I tried to get it on video. I was out testing it the other day. I don't know if that's going to show up, but looks really good. Looks very darty. And the color I was using that I was surprised by is, let's see, I'm not sharing here. Hold on. was, and if you guys have not seen him or don't know what I'm talking about, Z-Man has a new chatterbait out. Yeah, it's not, I don't feel like it's like a life-changing thing. Whoops. I clicked by, where's hard baits? Oh, I guess it's just baits. Jigs. Z-Man has a new chatterbait out called the EBO, $9.99. I think it's solid. I think it's a good solid alternative to the jackhammer. It would be interesting to see the sound and vibration difference. Somebody was saying these have like a similar blade, if not the same blade. Does that show up on screen? Yeah. Similar or same blade to like the original, where it's more that shape. Whereas, and I don't know if it's going to show on here, it's not as good as the blade on the jackhammer. So I don't know what those differences are, or what, if it's the same blade or not. I don't know how it hits the head, if that's different, but I noticed it was consistent and it had a really cool hunting action when you popped it. And the color I was using that I really liked was the electric shad. Looks really good in the water. It's got this like kind of greenish purple iridescence when the sun was hitting it on top. But yeah, cool colors of it. It'll be interesting to see once people put more time in with it. Even like some underwater stuff. I've got the underwater camera and never got out on the jumbo. I was on the jumbo once this year. But it would be cool to try to film some of that. Yeah, we need to get you in an inner tube. Is that what they call them? Float tube or whatever? We need to get you in the float tube. Holding my underwater camera, and then I can throw it by you.
Ooh, poor man's hook and look. Here we come.
Do I say that a lot, Nick? Did the stealth blade go under the radar? Yeah, I think that's one that goes under the radar. If I say it too much, I'm sorry, but yeah, I think it's a good one.
Pay attention to those weed hooks.
No, that's the that's not that one. That's the
I know.
cross size. Dizzle, stop being a bully. Yeah, the stealth blade. So yeah, people were throwing it like, oh, it doesn't have very much vibration. I was disappointed. That's the point of it, right? It's got a clear blade, less vibration. To me, I would like attune it to more like a really hard thumping swim jig, kind of like, you know, where you can take a swim jig with a straight tail, doesn't have much kick to it. You put a real big paddle tail, you can get a good, you know, bump and thump, a lot of water displacement. Same thing here. You know, it's kind of a small profile. You can still get that thump, but with that blade, you're not getting a bunch of flash, not the crazy vibration. I've had luck on them. Maybe, you know, could I have had the exact same luck with a, you know, a regular chatterbait? Maybe. I don't know, but. And then Chris also brought me a present today. Not only the donuts, but he stopped at Bass Pro. So I don't know, Dizzle, if you've been to Bass Pro lately. They have
no.
They have their own chatterbait now made with Z-Man. So he picked up a couple and I was looking at them. They looked interesting. Oh, crap. And I didn't even say this because it's on their main page. Huge shout out and thank you to all of our veterans. I can't believe I forgot that at the beginning. That should have been right away on there.
Number one.
Thank you very much for your service. People that are serving now, thank you as well. Always appreciate those boys and gals. Let's see. How do I share this one? Share screen. Share. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what it's called. It's the. Do I just do? Are we just going to bring up the regular chatterbait? Huh?
Oh yeah, I was trying to look for it too, real quick.
The big blade. Oh, and that's another one too. The big blade for like spring. That was one I wanted to try more and didn't. I think I tied it on once and didn't even throw it that day.
I don't think I've ever used it before.
But that's the cool thing that Z-Man's done. You know, expanding the line. You've got different types for different situations.
And they got them all the way down to those super 8 or God, even smaller than that.
I'd have to go to the Bass Pro thing, aren't I? Let's see. Does anybody know the name of it? Anybody?
Is it Z-Man branded Bass Pro exclusive?
Yes. Yeah. So it's a Z-Man bladed jig. It'll probably come up here when I click on this.
Sweet.
What the hell's going on?
See it.
Here, Bass Pro Shops Chatterbomb bladed jig by Z-Man. Chatterbomb, $8. So $8.
Huh.
It's made by
It's
Z-Man in collaboration with the Bass Pro Shop, I guess. But I don't know if anybody's tried them. Chris said he gave it a try. He thought they were interesting.
what's anything colors are a little bit different. Is there anything that sticks out about them or
I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see. One of a kind unique flash and head striking noise of the patented Z-Man because it is a direct connect. So the blade connects directly to the head of it. Oh, it's got a specialized head shape with low center of gravity.
oh,
Dual molded trailer and custom 5/0 hook. So it looks like a solid one. I don't know. $10. Is it just their way of getting into Bass Pros marketing and doing their own? Oh, it's only $7.99. I thought it said it was $9.99. There you go. $8. I do like this one. He did get me one of the white and pink ones. I really like that color.
I think
Flamingo, they call it.
Oh, kind of
Bet the
looks
smallies are gonna like that one.
scrimpy. Looks scrimpy.
I like the shad too, where they've got the different colors in it, and then like the bone color, pale shad. I
Is
like
it
the companies
me
that do
or
that.
is the hook like extra wide gap? Or is it just the pictures?
It just says it's a 5/0. I don't know that it's like the regular chatterbait, because the regular chatterbait, the hook on it is a big, huge like gaff right here. I think that's kind of what you're referring to, is this gap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's that big or not, but tell us about your experience. No.
Ugh. Coleslaw, gross.
Ooh, I love
And bait
coleslaw.
color, not. I love the food coleslaw, but not the color. Not a fan of that.
Whoa! Look at how it jumps out at you. They even got the head painted to do like that. Fancy. So yeah, let me know. Has anybody used the Chatter Bomb
And
Bass
Chatter
Pro
bomb.
Shop exclusive? Weird shaped head. Yeah, I noticed that too. It's got this little P head. Well, that's because they said it's made for a low center of gravity. I wonder if it helps stop it rising so much. Usually that's too big of a trailer, too much of a drag, but
I was gonna
yeah, I
say,
agree,
did you
Bass
get
Assassin. The cross size is a decent chatterbait with the weed guard. Yeah, for bank fishing, that one's really, really hard to beat because chatterbaits suck around wood. So any advantage you can get to help them not get hung up, I agree.
make sure you're watching that weed guard?
Yep, got to bend that weed guard back into place. Yeah, Robert, that's the deal. Everybody loves the jackhammer. It's consistent, good sound to it. Minimax, yeah, I think the Minimax is another one that a lot of people are kind of turning to as well. A little bit more finesse, and that kind of goes into the, I guess, kind of getting off the cold water topic. We'll get into more some gear stuff here too, but to conditioning bass, right? People said when the chatterbait first come out, fish hadn't seen it. People were just getting crushed on it. And people talking about the longer it goes on, or the longer it's out, the more people throwing it, the less they feel it does. So just coming out with a smaller, slightly different vibration like the Minimax, a little bit more subtle, does it make a difference? I don't know. It's interesting to think about. Chris said it's got a girthy hook to it. TJ in the house. What's up, Jim? You old handsome feller. Let's see. Chatterbomb. Oh, people telling me what it was. Yep. Thank you. Let's see. Oops. Sorry. Hit you there. Oh, man. Wish I was at the campfire too. Looks like an awesome weekend down there, dude. Have fun. Let's see. Any other questions? Just trying to go through here. DT Dustin in the house. There's going to be a video of me and him. I'm going to have to do a dub over of it since all the audio was shot that entire day. Drove 2 hours for 3 fish today because the river's been horrible. Yeah, it was kind of slow here too. Ed in the house. What's up, Ed? Okay, how about some other cold water baits? How about chat? Let's get chat weighing in here. Greg in the house. What's up, Greg? Hope you're well, man. We're gonna have to get the yaks out, or the yaks. I was reading Yakenstein. Have to get the huts out and rally the wagons. Me, you, and Dizzle, and do some ice fishing.
Circle the wagons.
Circle the wagons. Let's see. How about you? Other cold water stuff. What else you got, Dizzle? I feel like those are the two most consistent for me. So spinning jerkbait and Ned rig once it gets this cold.
Yeah, I really, honestly, it's something. It's going to be something skirted, or at least some sort of moving bait that you can do double duty with. I guess you can use it still as a moving bait to bring it over something right next to something to try to get their attention, or like I was saying earlier with the swim jig, that you can kill it and let it die. Um, Not a huge fan of like I see somebody um talked about it, just brought up the fluke. A weightless fluke for me doesn't really work. Anything weightless really doesn't work a whole lot for me. I don't have the patience, get annoyed with the wind. Um oh, crankbaits. I don't know as if I've really thrown a crankbait other than a lipless this year.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of tough. A lot of the places we fish are so gunked up by stuff that
Mhm.
it's not real treble hooky
Yeah.
friendly. Yeah, blade baits, man, blade bait is one I've tried, and from the bank I just get snagged up so much. You really have to have like kind of an open spot with a bottom where it's, just kind of scattered rock and stuff where you're not going to get snagged all the time, because from the bank bringing it uphill is just so much different than casting out, whether you're deeper or spotting over stuff. Just playing with the little bit of live scope that I have, Brando's got it on his boat, and there's so much information you can learn, love it or hate it. Like, I mean, there's a reason why all the pros are using it, catch so many fish doing it. There's a ton to learn, there really is. So,
Yeah.
being able to see the fish like that, target them and throw something down to them, way different, than, me and Dizzle casting from the bank, fan casting with one. But yeah, it can be done. Absolutely. There's guys that do. I get tired of losing them and then end up not doing it. So, but it's the same as like hopping a lipless too. Some places where I'll do that, but
Lot of flat sides. Well, couple flat side comments.
yeah, yo-yoing a blade bait,
Mhm.
Ed. Yep, yep. Um, Spoons, man, I have never fished a single spoon. My dad did when he went up north. He had this big spoon. They were fishing for I think walleyes was the
Was
thing, but they
it
were
the
catching pike.
Daredevil?
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
No, I don't know what one it was, but yeah, they did up there. I've never touched one. I've never jigged a spoon like one of those big, spoons. Like watch
Yeah.
Bass Geek, he's got videos on that and stuff. Nope, fishing a spoon is not a thing I've ever done. Flat side crankbaits, I did have a good day with the Fritz side, which is one of my favorites. I've had some really good days on that one in the past few years. Let's see, lipless. Yeah, man, gators. I wish I was getting on some good lipless bites. Not this fall. Stinks. Cross eyes have weed guards. Yep, cross eyes does. Also, there's another one that has cross eyes have the wire ones. Excuse me. Then there's another one, I forget which one it is, that has like a regular weed guard, like a jig weed guard to it. It's not the elite. I don't know. But anyway, I prefer the cross eyes one with the wire. I don't think I have any here. A bunch of random jigs and stuff here, but yeah. Anyway, I like the cross eyes better. DTs, yeah, DTs are a real good one. Absolutely. Let's see, cold water cranking. Yeah, cold water cranking's fun as hell. I love, we can get on a good crank bite.
Mhm.
Let's see, man, that's something that Julie, good point. 3-inch paddle tail and an 1/8 ounce belly weighted EWG. You can slow roll it through all kinds of stuff. That's one of
Mhm.
those baits that I threw it today and nothing, not a single touch to it. Dizzle and I talk about it every time we go out. You throw one out and like it looks so natural. It looks like a little bait fish. I don't know how fish don't eat them every single time. I guess they have real fish to compare to that, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Other people talking about another spoon one, blade baits, hashtag Cookin. Bottom contact baits. Yep. I don't know how many times Dizzle's kicked my teeth in with a finesse jig. Have you tried speed cranking? Jared said. I don't know what you mean by speed cranking. Just burn it as quick as you can. Yes. Lipless, square bills. I don't know if this is a different technique that you're talking about or something, but yeah, fishing them fast.
Squirrel.
Absolutely. Scoreable. Gators, ball and chain. Man, a lot of people do throw that in the fall for sure. But for me, that's like a dead of the summer bait is when we would throw it. Dragging it just real slow in that super hot dead water. Bluebird Sky, nothing moving. I really don't even throw them that much anymore, especially from the bank. I would rather just throw a non-pegged Texas rig. I know it's a different look, different deal, but let's see. Oh, Picasso shock blades. Yep, another vibrating jig. I've put a little work in with those, not a ton, but yeah, they're a solid little chattering deal too. Let's see. People asking about the codes on American Legacy. Cisco, I don't remember. I didn't order from there. I just saw the sales. I don't know if you have to use a code or not. Omni one you have to use. It's like a Black Friday or something. I did use theirs and grab some stuff. I did grab one of the new rods. Actually, that's a perfect segue. We're 40 minutes in. How about new gear? Dizzle, is there any new gear that you were excited to talk about this winter? Maybe even lend to me to do a review. How about you? Any new gear that you were like really surprised with this year? Or like, I really like that one. It doesn't necessarily have to be super new either. Like new to you is cool too.
God, it hurts me to say this, but I've started to fall in love with the old Tatula.
A
It
Tatula?
is
I thought
it
for sure
just
you're going to say the DC.
oh no, I do love that. However, that has made me not like the other Corrados that I have as much.
The
So
DC, you mean, has made you not like the
yeah,
other? Really?
yeah,
You
right,
like the
yep.
DC that much more?
I think it just feels so much smoother overall. I think anyway, the casting feels a little bit smoother.
The big thing,
The
I wonder if
retrieval feels smoother.
that's a good question, because how many people that love the DCs, are you a thumber or no? Do you thumb the spool? Because I know that's one thing that Dizzle talks about all the time is he doesn't love to thumb the spool. He's a send it out and give it a thumbs up and hope for the best. And that's the best way to use the DC. Like if you try thumbing it or messing with it in between, I was backlashing all the time. So do you think that's part of the reason?
I don't you were it's really surprising that you were backlashing with it.
When I
It
was messing with it with my thumb, touching it.
oh, okay. Maybe that does mess with the
Yeah, because it's reading it.
electronics or whatever.
Yeah, 10 million times a second. I don't know. I'm making numbers up. 100 times a second or
Letting it
whatever.
go quicker. So yeah, it might be. I
Yeah,
don't know, but I do find myself I probably thumb the reel a little bit more than what I like to say I do. I noticed it a lot the other day when I was fishing, casting dead into the wind. I noticed I use it a little bit more than what I lead on, but I could definitely see that probably work a little bit better because it is just like bazing down to the back and, thumbs up, let it go.
send it, forget it. Yeah. Johnny, best way to avoid pike from destroying my frogs? Keep throwing them
Don't
and
throw
catch pike on top water, because
don't
pike
don't throw a frog.
hey, buckle up, Buttercup, and keep throwing, because that's one of the funnest ways to catch it. Days where I have consistent topwater pike bites on a frog, I would rather fish for pike all day and forget bass. I said it.
You're saying that because you're getting bites on a frog. It has nothing to do with the species that you're catching. No,
The thing
no,
with pike,
no.
dude, the thing with pike though is they shamu out of the water for it. They're just mean little pricks with teeth that just want to destroy that thing. A lot of the frogs, or a lot of the bass will just kind of come up and slurp it. Like when pike are angry and they're on, that's some of the most fun you can have fishing.
Bass explode too, though.
They do, but I don't know. I just like picking them up and then rubbing the slime on your mustache.
Ugh. Ugh.
Then you have to
I
smell pike slime on your stash.
for the longest time, I didn't experience like a bass coming up and slurping it. I was more of a you saw them coming up out of the water. There was that bigger explosion on the top versus not as much.
Yeah, and oftentimes, like that's a lot of things, or one of the things people say is a lot of the fish you have that are bigger, because their mouth is bigger, they'll come up and just kind of slurp it.
Yeah.
Whereas the smaller ones will tend to come up and slap. And I've had kind of both. I have had really big ones come up and it's just like it's the littlest grab. And then you set the hook and you're like, oh my God, this thing's barely moving. And I've had big ones come up and just hammer it. So I think it just kind of depends on their mood and, how fast you're moving it and stuff. If they have to chase it or not.
True.
Understand people still talking about some lures and stuff. How about let's talk about gear. Let's talk about gear. Let's transition into gear, and maybe I'm behind. Only 5 minutes. Let's transition into gear. What type of gear, or I shouldn't say what type of gear, what pieces of gear are you all most excited for me to review this winter? Daiwa Tattoo 100, the new one, is definitely going to be probably the next one up. Definitely probably going to be, I said. Will definitely be the next one up.
Maybe, definitely, possibly.
Like that one a lot. Yeah, definitely, probably, kind of.
For sure.
Robert says wants to try that one. Rich, we saw you today out there, Rich, and your new fancy nitro. Rich is the one that was nice enough to go over in his nice boat and get my topwater popper for me that day.
Oh, in the 2 inches of water?
Yeah.
Drove his boat over there.
That's why he had to get a new boat. He ripped a huge hole in it getting that lure for me that day.
I bet.
But Rich was out today as well. And I tell you what, you have a beautiful looking boat, my man. Somebody else, Robert, also said that here. Johnny also said picking up the Tattoo 100. Yes, I have one, and that'll be a review coming up. Really, really like that one. Let's see. People still talking about different lures. Okay, here you go from Robert.
I already responded to that.
What was your?
Shimano.
If you can only
It's
pick
still
one.
a Shimano. It's a Shimano.
Okay. I think Kirk nailed it right there. I think that is the exact way I would break the two down. Shimano, smoothest, best feeling, I think, like reeling in, really, really hard to beat. But Daiwa is that workhorse. I like the brakes better on Daiwa. They feel solid in hand. They kind of fit my hand better. I think that's one of the other reasons I like theirs. Can't go wrong with either one, though. Both are good. However, the video that's going to be coming up next is kind of a review / experience talking about American Legacy. I've bought probably, I don't know, handful of reels from them used, right? I think Dizzle, I think I've got you one, or you bought one. You've bought a couple over there, but has been good experiences. I haven't had a single lemon yet with rods and reels, but I bought one of the Daiwa Tattoo-less 70s. So the smaller one, I got it for like jerk baits, top waters. Took it out, screeching when it casts, which is normal for Daiwa. I really hate to say that, but they come dry. I don't know how many people I've said that. Chris Russ said it. Tackle Junkie said it. I was talking to somebody else that said it. They're notorious for coming dry. I think yours was, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was that one that you
or
had?
whatever one?
Yep.
I think that came dry. You had to oil it.
Yeah. What was the one that you had that was really, really bad?
When?
Which one was that? I don't think it was this year. It was last year. You were super excited about it, but when you cast it,
the 80. It was the Tattoo 80.
Was it?
Yep. Had to oil it. Perfectly fine. That was the same one this year. If y'all watched, it's been right at the beginning of the year. I had it out again at the beginning of the year. I didn't clean it or anything after last year. Sounded like crap. Put some oil on the sides of it. Completely gone. So that's kind of a letdown.
It's really weird to think, like, is it the material that they're made out of? Because I have reels that honestly I've used and continue to use and have never put a drop of oil on there over a year's time. And you're saying over the off season that went from good to not good. It's got to be the materials, right?
Perfect to horrible. I don't know. It's a good question. I know Lews. So back in the day when Lews had, I've got one of the old Tournament MB BB1s. That was one of my favorite reels for a long time. But Lews had a problem with the centrifugal brakes that would run on that race. They were notorious for screeching, so you'd have to keep them oiled. They would screech. So like you're saying, Dizzle, it was a material thing. On these, I don't know though, because I don't know that it's necessarily where the tension knob is touching the end of the spool shaft, because they're magnetic brakes. That's the thing with Daiwas, is you don't have anything actually touching for the brake. So it's got to be either some sort of material from the pinion or something touching the sides of the spool shaft that's making that friction, like you're saying. So it could be. I know some of the reels, I forget which one it was, but it had like a circuit board kind of looking thing. Like if you take your spool tension cap off, I don't have one here, but they'll have some sort of material in there. So you're right. Maybe it's that. But not only that, but Daiwa's been notorious for sending out dry reels. And I was talking to Jim. We were just texting back and forth earlier in the week. His 80 was making noises, and he had to, I don't know if he got it fixed by oiling it and stuff, but he talks to somebody who does cleans reels and stuff, services for a living. And he said that individual said they're notorious for being dry. So that's kind of a letdown because I love my Daiwas, but
Did they say from the factory dry or just in general?
didn't say. But I know I've had them in general from the factory dry. So
that's so weird.
I think what Jim say, I don't know if they got stingy with their grease guy or whatever, but
Price of grease just went up.
Yep, price of grease is up. Use 1/10 of what you were using, boys. Let's see. Amen. Pike are fun to catch. Yes. Jeremy agrees with you. Gross. Pike are wild on topwater. Completely agree. Dogfish. Yeah, Dustin. Man, I haven't caught a dogfish. We called them mudfish, I think is what Dad and I used to call them. Is that right? But yeah, he caught a big old dogfish when we were out. I would like to go south and catch some snakeheads. Me and Dizzle travel south and catch a whole bunch of snakeheads on
yeah, those things.
On frogs. That looks fun as hell. That's on my list.
Snakehead, and what's the other one? It looks like a snakehead.
Bowfin?
Yeah.
Or clown. Those clown ones look fun too. Not the same.
Clown ones is what the only fish that can swim backwards.
Yeah, they undulate. They have an undulating fin. Yeah, the clown knifes. There's aquarium fish. You can get that too. But yeah, they can swim forward and backwards with their little cool looking fin. Let's see. Art said I would constantly backlash with mine. The one thing I noticed with my DC is I definitely have to run the spool tension tighter than I normally do. So my spool tensions, usually I click it down and I'll take my spool and have just a tiny bit of click to make it free, because you don't want to push in that spool too much, because then you've always got tension and friction force on the cast, right? So normally, like with centrifugal or magnetic, I'll just make it so you can just the tiniest. I'm not saying a big movement, which is like you barely hear when you go left and right with the spool. I noticed with my DC, I definitely had to go past that a decent amount to make sure there was that little bit of tension, so there was not jostling of the reel. And then I completely stopped having issues, unless in the middle of it I was accidentally thumbing it just kind of out of habit. Then sometimes that would throw it off, but. Yeah, the DCs are nice, especially in wind. Somebody else, I think Kirk or somebody said, my tattoos, I can cast them in the wind without a problem. Yeah, completely agree. On the regular Shimanos, like a Corrado, that's still from time to time have issues with that, because they are just centrifugal brakes. There's no magnetic brakes to them, just like a regular Corrado. So you kind of have to be careful with that. That's why I like the Daiwa brakes better. I think they're a superior braking system, in my opinion. Do I use tip-ups? No, I've got, I think, one tip-up. I've not gotten into the tip-up game. I set one out, never caught anything on it last year, but I would like to get some manners and try to catch some pike on tip-ups this year. Be fun. Rob says, appreciate your thoughts on any new. I appreciate that, Rob. Rich said, thank you for the Purdy boat. Like to see some lure making videos. Definitely going to have some of those coming up. I think we're going to have to revisit some of the Ned rig stuff and talk about the differences. I did get the darter heads, the weedless darter heads. Dizzle and I, we use darter heads.
Weedless ones, huh?
Yeah, weedless. Yep. We had Dizzle and I had a good day, and I think that was kind of one of the first times Dizzle had seen the darter head, and I know you've liked them since then. You've used them. But yeah, they have a weedless one, so it's like the EWG Ned rig, but with a darter head on the front. So it's
yeah, I was
like,
gonna say I've never seen a weedless one before. All the ones that I'm used to, it's just your regular.
Yeah, I don't know if I have to find that box, but back in the day, I was actually just talking to somebody on this. Back in the day, I used to have some worm. They called them something worm rigs, but it was essentially a darter head. And instead of the line tie being up on top, 90 degrees, the line tie was out in the front. So it was pretty much just a pre-rigged like EWG Finesse rig. And I used the heck out of those when I was younger, because it was like a Texas rig, where it was already pre-done, didn't need a weight, and it was weedless. So for me, growing up fishing the ponds and stuff, that was the most frustrating thing, because I didn't have, unlimited tackle. So I hated losing stuff. So a Texas rig or anything weedless like that was always good. So kind of the same lines of that. Let's see. Gator said he tried the American Legacy deal last year, but won't redo it. They had too many out of stocks. Omnia program works way better. Yeah, Omnia's definitely stepped up their game. They've got a ton of stuff in. I use all three of them, man. You know, even working with Tackle Warehouse, that's something I've said before is just because I'm sponsored by somebody or work with somebody, I'm always going to give my honest opinion. Like, you can talk crap and say, oh, well, once you're sponsored, you're always. I shop at all three. And like anybody that says they don't is probably lying. Because if they've got a good deal, I'm going to go over there and get it. Chris, favorite piece of Abu gear you tried this year? I did grab quite a few of the Abu reels. I would say hands down the Revo SX. I think that is going to be their flagship in the middle reel. I think they messed up the Revo X by going to an all graphite. I don't like that at all. And it's more expensive. It's like 120 now. The all black Revo X used to be 99 bucks, and that was a really solid reel. So that was kind of upsetting, but the SX is a really, really nice reel. Upgraded the handles on it. They kind of mess with the frame a little bit. It's a little more comfortable. Trying to think what else. The chatterbait rod. I did get one of the Berkeley chatterbait rod, or not Berkeley, Abu chatterbait rods. I forget what it's like. The Pro Series. It's the Hank Cherry chatterbait rod. That felt really good. I haven't caught anything on it yet, so I can't really do I'll do kind of a cumulative gear review and mention that one and talk about it. But action of it feels really good. It loads up really good. I wish I just could have caught some fish on it. Got a little bit too late to do that though. So weather kind of took a turn in the pooper and got real cold quick, which stinks. Then it's going to be 65 next week, record highs. Go figure.
Right.
When the water temps are 40 degrees now. So
what was it? Did you just talk about? Was it what's the one that we have or that we both got? I guess that was new this year, right? The
yeah, good point. I
Max
think
Pro.
yeah, Pro Max. I think that
Pro
should
Max.
be that. Yeah, that should be. So like this, and I'm not picking on Abu because I like their stuff. I really like things from all the brands, but Lews does this, Abu does this. I don't understand why they have so many choices, and this is probably a marketing thing that they have to do. But I noticed this when I was looking at some of the Abu stuff. I picked up one for Dizzle and I. So like here, somebody reviewed the Jordan Lee, gave it 1 star. I don't know what they rated it on, but that's essentially the same as the new Revo X, which is right here, 120. Very, very similar. Like this might have a few more bearings. I don't know. We'd have to go in and look, but 120 bucks for the new Revo X now. Then you go to the white one that Dizzle and I got, which is the Max Pro, 89 bucks. And then this one, see, somebody gave this 3 stars. I would give this a 5 star for a budget reel. It's my favorite budget reel on the market now. So it's 60 bucks. This is the one that I was saying earlier. I got it on sale at the Tackle Warehouse. That's been, I think, 2 years ago on the Christmas sale for 35 bucks. This plus that ARC catalyzer, I think it is, both for 35 bucks. So $70. And that's probably my favorite budget combo that I own. I used the hell out of this thing last year. Solid little budget rod. But yeah, kind of. And then you look here. So they have an 89, a 79, a 59, a 99. I don't know if they're just, it's a marketing deal where they cover each spot, but I don't know. SX though is a good little reel. 170 bucks. I think this one used to be 150. I want to say the old one. I don't remember, but solid reel, solid reel. Like it a lot. So that'll be one we'll have to do. I'll have to do some compare and contrast because like as they go up to like the this one got a 5 star STX. It's 230 bucks though. Like it should be good, and it does. It feels really good. This one I got when I got the 50% off deal when they had that. Xenon X is a sick reel. But again, 350 bucks, it better be, Right. So, yeah, SX. Okay, so it was the same price. Yeah, 150 on sale. This one I got on sale, or they had the sale. I know a bunch of people bought it. 99 bucks. They had that for a while, which is a steal for that reel. That's a great do-it-all reel, the old Revo SX. But yeah, I like stuff out of all. People always ask me, like, would you just use one? And there's tons of good in each one. Lews kind of the same thing. You know, again, one of the best, if not the best, do it all $99 reel LFS aluminum frame, just a good little workhorse. But you know, they've kind of got some of these like the mock, whatever the orange one is. That one always pissed me off at $170, and it's a graphite frame. Unless they change that, I don't think they ever change that. But it's like, why am I paying $170 for a graphite framed reel?
Love those grips though.
Yeah, one piece graphite frame, graphite side blades, and it's a decent reel. Like, yeah, I love the handles, but how is that $170? Because it has the dual braking system. Then you compare that to, which this one actually went up in price. This was kind of my dark horse, under the radar, if you will, Nick. This custom SLP, and this one I got on sale for, I don't remember how much. Way cheaper than that, but super, super good reel. Do it all. Used the heck out of this one last year. I didn't even get a review up on it. So I've got, that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring up gear reviews. I've got a ton of catching up to do on gear reviews. Older stuff, you know, year or so old versus newer stuff. I've got to get my butt in gear and do that, because those are honestly my favorite ones to do. And there's not a lot of people that do it, you know, to kind of really break down and give you some good reviews. Tackle visors, you know, real, gosh, what's his name? I forget it now. Is it Integrity? Real Integrity? Oh my gosh, I'm completely blanking out. He does a lot of the BFS stuff now. I don't watch as many of his videos now, but he's Real Test. That's who it is. Real Test does a ton of the good deep dives and stuff. But there's not a lot of people that do, like, you know, really good gear reviews, I feel like. And that's one that I feel like I did well. And honestly, I like to do the most. I love getting into the gear stuff and doing, and it was kind of that analysis paralysis by analysis deal. I didn't want to do them because I'm like, oh, I would do it. I would shoot a couple. Then I'm like, oh God, didn't turn out right. And then it would end up not doing it. And
Hey, Debo. 836 Lightning M wants to know who's making a decent 5-speed reel. Choices are less and less.
I would agree. I don't use them as much anymore. God, I'm trying to think. One of the Lews, actually the LFS, I want to say, for a budget one. I don't know what your budget is, but I think they were one of the few that did a good, or shouldn't say did a good budget one, actually had a budget reel that got down to that. They used to have a cranking.
I haven't tried it, but I think the G-Man reel goes down to that.
Yes, they've got only if you're a righty though, 5.6. I think the BB1s, especially, like, I don't know if you're using it for cranking, but they have the larger spool, larger capacity. I'm really ashamed to say this. I did pick up one of the BB1s on sale last year. I don't think I've even lined it up yet, spooled it up. I pulled a gym tackle junkie and
Lightning says go nuts, no budget.
On anything? Ooh, gosh. If we're talking no budget, does the Zillion have Daiwa fanboy, right? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't use them that much. BB1, I mean, that's one of the old classics for, you know, like a 5 cranking speed. This stupid mouse I'm about to throw out the door. Yeah, see, they don't even have a 5-speed, so it's a 6-speed, 6.2. I don't know, the winch, Revo winch. Actually, I did pick up one of those. I haven't got to throw it either. Go figure. But I did pick up one of the winches. They did come out with a new winch, which should be a 5-speed. Better have a 5-speed, or there's no reason to call it a winch. Yeah, 5.4. That's a good one. I do really like the changes that they made to those, to the new reels, the handle, and kind of the little bit of ergonomic change they did to it. I do like that a lot. I don't know what Daiwa or Shimano has in. Do the Corrados go down to a? Actually, the Corrados do. I do have a Corrado cranking one because they have the bigger handle. They have the Tranx handle. Corrado would be another good one because it has that larger line capacity. I don't know if that's still true with the new ones, if they kept that on the M, but they used to have a cranking. Maybe not. I know that's what I have.
What
Hold
is
on.
this, a Corrado? What?
This is the Corrado M. The Corrado K, I swear.
There's a Corrado K that has a 5.
Yeah.
Where did that go? 5.0 to 1?
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got one of those old ones I picked up. Yeah, right there. Yeah, so the Crowd OK. They don't have it here. Do they have this one in stock? Which one is that? 200 PGK? Yeah, they don't even have it in stock. I would check American Legacy. They've got them on sale right now for $129 for the Crowd OKs. I don't know if they have that one or not. What is PG?
Mm-hmm. Can you?
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's the PG. It's the K is because it's the Crowd OK. Yes, they do have them in stock here. PG or the 201 would be your left-hand version for cranking. And they have the larger hand, but I'll show you here. Hold on. This will grab a question quick. I got to make sure I don't moon everybody because
Yeah.
these pants like dry down. Oh, real quick, Theron. Yeah, that's another one. Just when I was talking about Lews before, I was talking to Jim, who I think talked to Fluke Master. He works for 13 or something. I don't know. But he said, because I said that the new 13 reels are nice. I really like them. Probably the hardest reel I've had to dial in lately to get it to not backlash. Once I got it dialed in, it was perfect. But I have to have my brakes up to like 5 or 6 because they changed the material in them. Because like Theron is saying, I don't know if you've used the new ones or not, but the old ones, whatever that plastic was, they would start to wear and they would screech like hell. So like Dizzle was saying that, whatever material that was made out of, they use centrifugal brakes in the 13s. So they have little things that stick out. So as it goes around, it's going around the spool, this little thing's rubbing and hitting that race. They change that material, but it's way slicker. So I don't know if that's to cut down on that. I would assume that was a big part of it, but yeah, that's another good point. 13s used to do that. New ones I have not done that at all, but you definitely have to crank them up to not backlash. Let's see. Yeah, Mike, it really is. The Crowd OK is one of the flagship workhorses for sure. I just prefer the fit of a lot of the Daiwas. I own multiple Corrados, got the new Corrado M. I pretty much have every Corrado line of the newer ones, and they are sweet reels. But when it comes to brakes, I prefer the Daiwas. But smoothness, fit and finish, I think Shimano takes the crown for that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here, Dizzle, I'm going to hand it over to you quick. Grab a question or
Yeah.
say your ABCs or something. Do some deal. I'm going to see if I have that one.
Not that far. Okay, go for it. I'm not that far into my alphabets to be able to do that in front of people. He didn't even hear me what I said. All right, what is going on here, Mr. BBC in the house? Debo just touched on the loud reels again. I just have to go back and actually out loud say, Bruce, that was a hilarious comment that you made right as we first started talking about that. Hilarious. Let's see here. More Corrado talk. It was funny. Debo brought up the swim jigger. I sent him a picture of it. After the fact, I took a picture of the combo that I was using, and it just so happened to be that I was using a arc sniper rod that was Debo's. I don't know as if he knew that I had it still or where it went, or maybe just has so many that he has no idea. But I thought that was hilarious. He didn't get it at first. I still don't think he does. Hey, buddy. What's you? Hmm?
I don't
What
have. I
happened?
can't find it. It must be on one of my rods, but I can tell you that it has.
Oh,
Whoops.
hey.
Hey, let's do this.
Not awkward
I can tell you that it
whatsoever.
has. That was the wrong button. It has the same handles as the Tranks, the larger cranking handles, which I really, really like. If you like large handles, or these, actually, it has these handles, the same ones that are on the Crowdo 300. It's got those handles for the cranking version. A little bit bigger, which I like. I wish all reels had that. That's one of the biggest things I hate about Daiwa reels is like the 100 or the Zillion. They have these sissy little handles. I can't stand them. Personal preference. I don't like little tiny knobs. I like a big old knob to grab onto, Dizzle. Take that however you will. Let's see. Yeah, it's true. Buy a new Daiwa reel and oil it up. Yeah, that's sad that that's kind of the thing now. Gator says, yep, American Legacy is good for used stuff. Tatula SV started screeching during cast and occasionally lately. Yeah, put a little bit of, just a tiny bit of oil on that spool shaft and on the ends of the ends of that spool shaft, and that will completely stop it. Let's see. What else?
but
What else
not
you
too
guys
much
got
and
for?
nowhere else.
Yeah, not too much. Less is more when it comes to that stuff. I think lures reels have got worse since the new company bought them. I don't know. I don't think I've bought a new. What is the newest Lews reel that I've bought? Yeah, they did get purchased by, what is it, Rather Outdoors or something that owns them, Strike King. I don't know who all else. Let's see. What is the last Lews reel that I purchased? The new ones that came out look sick, but they're like $400 or whatever. Like the new Hypermag they just released, and it's like I can't spend that right now. Wrong button. Help me. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Help me, baby Jesus.
Help me,
Help me,
baby
Oprah
Jesus.
Winfrey.
Okay, let's see. So not that one. Get your act together here, Debo. Good Lord.
Yeah, get your head on straight.
Yeah. Idiot. Debo the idiot. Let's see. I don't think I have the new. Oh no, that's the SS. I didn't buy that. That's the shallow spool. I did buy the BB1 Pro, I think, early last year. Still haven't spooled it up. Oh, I feel like such a poser. I think these came out at the same time I got those. The Hyperspeed, which is like the Buzzbait frog and reel, and then this one. I want to say those are the newest. None of the new models, though. I don't think I've bought any of the Lews stuff this year at all. So, like, here's the new ones. The Hypermag just dropped. They've got like the skinnier wind handles on it now. $350. Eek. This one, beautiful reel too. $400. Eek. $400 for the Lews Pro TI. Eek. So no, I think
No
last
thanks.
year or the year before, whenever those came out, those were the newest. They do have some sales though on some of the Lews stuff. This one, this is the Pro Skip and Pitch. Does skip really well. It's got the shallower spool. So load that up with like some 17-pound, fluoro, go flipping with it, pitching. I do like that one a lot. $150 is not a bad buy on that one at all. It's a solid little reel. And does this one have, actually, now that I say that, does this one have the aluminum side plate? Because they change that on some of them. Nope, still just the graphite side plates on this one. Aluminum frame though, which I didn't have any issues with that one using it. Or this one, which is one that goes under the radar. It's not even on sale. But the Pro, and one of these, they surprised me because they went to an aluminum side plate. The weird thing with Lews is even on a lot of the higher priced ones, they didn't have the aluminum side plates, which is kind of strange. Yeah, this was just the frame too.
I dislike those. I dislike those grips on that reel.
Yeah, I don't like the little flat knobs, even with the little nubbies on them. I'm still not a huge fan. They're not horrible. I don't mind them for like cast and retrieve stuff, but when I really have to set the hook, like these specifically, I had to put those big foam wind things on because I cut my knuckle I don't know how many times setting the hook, and probably part of that is how I set the hook. But yeah, they just tend to slip for hard hook sets for me anyway. But cast and retrieve, they're okay.
I don't know. They're not ergonomically comfortable for how I fish.
Yeah, I like the big. I think the Super Duty has aluminum side plates. Doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure this is the one I had to look on the website because they didn't have it here. But yeah, Lews makes good stuff. I know people kind of crap on them because they're made in China or whatever. But actually, speaking of another one that I will be doing a review of, a spinning rod, which I really, really liked. But I've noticed when I take it in and out of the rod sock, and when I was taking it out of the truck today, it was scratching. I'm like, what the F is going on here? This is by one of the big dogs. Oh, whoops. Oh, hold on. Thought I was on rods here. This is by one of the big dogs, and it's the new Intenza. Love the rod. Great action. The tip of it, though, on the back of it, it's got like a big piece of wire sticking out. And I didn't cut it off because I want to save it for the review and show that, hey, this happens with all companies. But like the Intenza, even the X Prides, I don't know if the new X Prides are, but they were made in China, for Shimano's rods. So just because it's made there doesn't mean it's crap. Like, get it, use it, see what you like, see what you don't like. But yeah, that was one thing I noticed with that one, which kind of surprised me.
Do you think it's like a piece that didn't get glued down right, or?
I don't know. I didn't look at it a lot. It was like the back of, can I enlarge this?
Enhance.
Yeah, that doesn't help. Enhance. Yeah, it doesn't show you, but on the
Enhance.
back here, where these wires come around, where this
Mhm.
foot, like the foot of it from the top comes down. I don't know if it's like an extra wire there they didn't, clip off, or I'm not sure, but yeah, that
Hmm.
was kind of interesting. Let's
Very.
see. Bruce says, I have a tattoo of pitch and flip. That Joker
Yeah,
squeals
that's
worse than Ned Beatty in Deliverance. Well
you're
played,
way
man.
behind, huh?
I'm at 8:27 right now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
a minute behind now. It's got
When
me.
you got up and walked away, I had to make sure and verbally give him a compliment on that comment because that was hilarious.
Yeah, well played, well played. Let's see. White lithium works. Yeah, I don't know. People get into weird stuff. I don't know if that's like a type of like the car white lithium grease stuff. I don't mess with all that stuff because a lot of it has um what's the word?
Hemoglobins.
Like like degreasers and stuff, and like other things. Like it's not like people use WD-40, and that's not a lubricant. That's like a degreaser. That's an anti, like you don't want to use that on your reels as a lubricant. So I would just stick with the real ones. There's people that have like pew pew oil. That'll certainly work
Hmm.
as well. They have different viscosities though, so you kind of want to watch that. Yep, some of your pew pew oil there.
No, this
Um,
is bench
what is it?
made.
Oh, yep, knife oil. Ones that are specifically made for that type of stuff. But yeah, people are like, "Can I use olive oil and all these weird things?" And I'm like, "Not." It says oil, not the same thing. So stick to like a real oil. You only have to buy it once. Like once you buy them,
Oh, yeah.
you use so little that you're not going to burn through. Unless you're a professional doing it.
I don't
Hickman
even think you would
Outdoors.
yeah.
I missed that. Back when Japan was the China, yeah, Shimano borrowed the BB1. Yeah, they did used to do some of that back in the day. Because I think they used to make it for them, right? Or is it the other way around? Lews made some, I don't remember how all that worked, but let's see. Water Rich, a little behind here, but he was talking about some of the baits he uses. Yeah, and that's definitely going to be different. Like, yeah, fishing out on Lake Erie for smallies versus rock jetties here on, a small lake for largies. So, let's see. Daiwa grease is the best grease you can get. I've honestly never used. Do you use the one in like the, what would the word be? It's like the little rib plastic thing. It's got the little applicator where you like push it with your thumb. That one. I was gonna pick some of that up, but I've never used the Daiwa grease. Let's see. Go-to fishing line. Dude, there's so many good ones out there, JT. I'm pretty hard on the P-Line Tactical Man. That's pretty much my go-to for a long
Mm.
time. Cigar Red Label was all I used. Budget, you could get it from Walmart or in Vizex, whichever one you could get. Sunline makes some really good line.
I don't like the Abrazex.
Really?
That's the red box, right?
Like the maroon? No, that's the maroon
Or
box.
a
Yeah.
maroon. It is the maroon box, yeah?
Yeah,
Not
the
a
red
fan of it.
label's like the YouTube
Yeah.
red. Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
budget fluoro, I like that a lot. You have to watch out because there's a lot of companies that will do like a copolymer fluoro, like fluoro
Mhm.
clear P line. Not good if you're thinking it's going to be a straight fluoro. It's not that. It's more of like a cranking line, and go up one for like the fluoro clear. But like Berkeley has some like the Vanish I've not had good luck with. Um, yeah, I would say you stick with like Sunline, Cigar, P line. Those are, I think, the three favorite for me as far as 100% fluorocarbons. And you just said fishing line, so I don't know why I was thinking just fluorocarbon. You asked, but
If
Rich
you're
said water
going
temp was 49 degrees today. Wow, it's
Yeesh.
more than I thought it was.
If you're going, what's it called? Mono, you gotta go with the Ul XL.
Oh yeah, for sure. Trilene XL in the red box, my favorite mono, hands down.
Icy
Ever
blue, it's
since
always fun to
ever
use.
since the dawn of time. Yeah, got to use the ice blue because then you know which one's spooled up with your mono filament.
Mhm.
Let's see. Other people talking about water temps. Wes says it's 34 in his area. Who's still? Oh God, I'm clear back there picking up the 5-speed real question.
Oh, yeah.
Dustin, member for 20 months. DT, hat tip to you. Thank you, brother. Lews KVD reel is the same as the LFS for 30 more, just the marketing. I believe they have the dual brakes, don't they? That's the only difference, which I'm not a huge fan of. I think that spool has the brakes on it, right? And a fancier handle knob. It's got the EVA handles on it. But yeah, I did post Lews has that one, that KVD for like 112, but you get a $25 gift card with it too. So that's a pretty good deal. I can go check that. Do I have that
Remember
KVD?
Remember when KVD was Quantum Guy?
I do. That's when I used pretty much only Quantums back in the day. Quantum was one of the big dogs on the heap at that time. I wish I wouldn't have sold all those.
I don't think I've ever casted a Quantum baitcaster before.
Let's see. Oh, yep. People helping me out. Real Test. Yeah, he's got a bunch of good ones. Tear aparts and reviews and stuff. Nerding out. Question. Oh, crap. And I had a starred question. Rob, I will grab yours next. I'm going to pin that one. And then I had one pinned back here. Fishing Fix. What are your favorite naked buzz baits and towed trailers? Gosh, for sure the one that I've used the most the past couple years has been the Picasso. Is it Toad Slayer? It's a more compact buzz bait, and it's made specifically for plastic, so it doesn't come with a skirt or anything on it. It's made to be a naked buzz bait. Gosh, what's the other one? There's a Boss one, I think. It's like a Brent Ayler Boss or something that was good. It had like a screw lock, but I did have a pike or something grab it, and it pulled the plastic off, and it bent the screw lock all to hell on the buzz bait. So I didn't like that. But this one for sure has been my go-to. There's actually a bunch of them. It seems like that's been more of a push
thing
to do that. Yeah, to make like the buzz baits specifically for, because you know what you'd have to do before is like a lot of the buzz baits, you'd have to look for the ones with the thinner heads and then run your plastic up over the head. Like I'll just take a regular buzz bait like this one. You'd have to find ones with real thin heads and then run that plastic all the way up over that for it to keep it. Well, now, so this is the Toad Slayer. That's what it is. Hank Cherry Toad Slayer. This has been my favorite because when you flip it sideways like that, so it's kind of got the bulbous head, you push it over it, and then it's got a little spike here in the lead to help keep that held on there. Now, I would even recommend putting a little slab of hashtag need to get sponsored by. Do I have any here? Mend it? No, Dizzle's probably got one in his holster there on his belt. Look, I told you. Got some of that Mend it there. He keeps it in a little Leatherman case on his belt.
There's another bottle right up there too. The bigger bottle, just in case I run out of the little
one. Slapping some Mend it on there to help keep it on, or some super glue would help too. But yeah, these come with like the pre-rusted rivet. They're already squeaky. They're a good compact buzzbait. I've really liked those a lot. I think the other one was Boss, I want to say, and they've got a double one here. I've grabbed one of these. I don't think I even threw it, but this is one that has like the twin blades if you like those. But I really like that single blade one. Let's see, because that was the other one I did really like with the screw lock, but unfortunately one big pike rip did mess it up. So take this with a grain of salt.
Pike.
Yeah, I think it was a Boss Brent Ayler. This might not even be right. Yeah, there it is. Brent Ayler amphibian buzzbait. So yeah, it's not a super heavy wire, but if you want something where you can screw it on there, I thought that was kind of a cool way to do it too. That was the first one I'd use. There might be other companies that do this, but that was the first plastic specific one. A little bit bigger blade, a little bit bigger profile on this one, but yeah, that Hank Cherry one I really, really liked. And it's more of it's a smaller blade. It's not as big like crazy. So if you're looking for a big, what's the Strike King one? Strike King came out with one that was for like skipping, I think. Somebody was telling me they really like that one now that we're talking about these. Would it be here? Probably. Yeah, the Skipping Buzzbait. I think this one came out maybe 2 years ago at iCast. Yeah, the Skipping Buzzbait. So this one, instead of getting, you know, the head and stuff where it tends to catch and move here, this piece is connected together. I don't skip a buzzbait. That's not something I've gotten into, but if you like to skip and stuff and not have this get all pulled out of whack, that might be one to try too. But again, made specifically for plastics. So those are the big ones that I've heard of. Let's see. Oh, and the War Eagle. War Eagle makes one too, right? We've got the War Eagles.
Do they?
Yeah. we've got the Warrigal that comes with the frog. They used to come with a Zoom horny toad, then they changed it, and then it come with something else. Horny toad, I really like that profile on a buzzbait. I don't want something with big, huge like ribbit feet where it's messing with like the blade, for me anyway. I'm pretty sure that's War Eagles, right? That comes with the frog in it. I want to say maybe.
Oh yeah,
wrong. Yeah,
it's a War Eagle Buzz Toad.
yeah, Buzz Toad. Yep, that's another good one. And not as aggressive of a plastic holder. It's just like the molded plastic deal here, and you've got the head to it. So again, like some of these other ones where they've caught onto that deal where people were sliding the plastic up over the complete head of the bait. That's why I really like that Picasso one. But yeah, this is a good one too. So hopefully that helps. Fishing Fix. Rob, okay, question. Have you picked up any of the new Daiwa Tatula? Yes, I did. That was actually one that I bought on the Omnia sale. I picked up one of the Daiwa rods. I have several really like them. Yeah, this is my first one. I didn't get any of the old ones, so I was going to pick up one. I was at Fin and Feather, one of our local tackle stores. This has been, gosh, years ago. This was first when the gray elite rods came out, and the guy kind of swerved me against it because a lot of those had the AGS guides and they were breaking. They were like brittle. So it made the overall rod lighter, but they were breaking. They had the two different versions, but after you told me that, I was like, I don't remember. I had a gift card there or something. I don't remember what I went with. Might have been one of this. Was it a snow? I don't know. I don't remember what I went with, but yeah, so I did get one of the new ones that came out, and it feels really good. And actually, the reason I got that one was because all the cranking rods I have for like my smaller cranks, they're like all 7 foot. Can't find anything larger than that. Or I couldn't normally, like, just looking, and I happened to think about it. I was like, I would like one for like 6 to 10 foot divers, and it's a 7.2, but it's good and flimsy. I think it's a glass graphite composite mix. But that's the only one. I did play with that the other day and liked it. Go ahead, Dizzle.
I was just gonna say there's a lot of people talking about going back to fishing lines. Have you ever used
Okay.
Canine line?
I have not. I've heard them. So Bass Geek works with them. He's really liked it. I had never heard of them before him. Actually, the Looking for Fish boys use them too. I think they're down that way, maybe North Carolina or Tennessee, because they know.
Is what
Yeah,
I saw.
I think they talked to the owner, and said he was as nice as could be.
And honestly, it
Yeah, I don't
looks
know anything
like
about him.
just going off of their website, it looks like and this is directly from their website. The pricing is pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's one. And honestly, there's a number of good budget lines out there. I don't mess with the fluoro as much, looking for a budget option. But like for braid, I don't know whoever was asking that. If like braid, like the Daiwa J braid, great braid for the price. It's
Oh
not
yeah.
the smoothest. It's not the like, but it doesn't break. It's, it fades. I still haven't found a line that doesn't, or a braid that doesn't fade rather quickly. And I'll tell you the
Um
other one is Subscribe Fish and Friends sent me like 1,000-yard roll of it. I know you and I have both used it. That's that Calyx braid.
Calyx, yeah.
Get it dirt cheap on Amazon. They had a couple different types, but I had zero issues with that. Casted pretty well. Again, not the smoothest, but never a single issue.
So real quick, just on their website, they have 550 yard spool of clear fluoro for $20.
What is it?
550 yards
550?
for $20.
Wow.
That's pretty cheap, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, normally you're getting 200 yards to
Maybe.
150 on some of them,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
that's a
have
good
a
deal.
high vis fluoro. How does that even work?
What would be the point of that, I guess? Because like that's one of the big
Oh,
selling
night
points of
fishing?
fluoro is, oh, I
Night
don't do
fishing
night
with
fishing.
black lights. You ever seen people do that? That's crazy.
No, bow
Yeah, they
fishing
have
with
like
lights, but
they have these giant black lights set up and they're
do you hear Stubby up there? He
yeah.
always gets the zoomies when it's time for bed, and Michelle must be putting my girls down. He's just up there going nuts. I heard Michelle out there going, shh, shh, stop it, shh. She gets all upset, like people are going to hate us, like if they hear the dog or anything. I'm like, honey, they know I have Stubby. Everybody loves Stubby. She's like, oh, I don't want people get mad.
I'm angry right now.
I'm angry. Stubby Dog's angry because he's not down here with his pillar. I want my
With his
pillar.
pillar time.
B's and G's, Big Malone. Big Malone, what's your favorite cold water bait? Drop shot. Drop shot is a really good bait for cold water. I will say that I have had some of my best luck throwing it later fall when you want to slow down, especially because a lot of that that vegetation has died off and stuff, so you can fish it more. But still, it's just a hang-up magnet for me. Let's see. People talking about reels. How far behind am I?
All the way.
846. Oh yeah, that's a really good point. TMV Bass, and I order my reels from Japan. Yeah, with the price of yen versus whatever, however they do the conversion, right? Isn't Japan the yen, right?
Yeah,
pretty sure. Yeah, you can get some really good deals. I've bought a couple overseas like that. Like there for a while, you can get metaniums for like $250. Zillions were 200-ish, two something. I think they've gone up now, but
I wouldn't get one free deal.
Hey, I felt guilty about that and had to give one away. I did actually just buy though. One of my buddies, Oklahoma's Worst Angling. If you've not checked him out, super good dude. And he was just down at OHIV. He was one of like 8 combat veterans or military veterans picked to go on this trip. And caught his new PB, caught a double digit down at OHIV, caught a 10-pounder. So congrats to him. He's a super good dude. But awesome. We were just talking because he had a Zillion for sale with a Gomex's handle on it. So I pulled the trigger on that and grabbed it for a very, very good steal of a deal. He had people trying to lowball him. I'm like, like $100. I'm like,
what?
No, I'll give you a fair price for it. And yeah, I mean, so he's a good dude.
That's ridiculous. Never mind.
Shimano reels come with too much oil. Yeah, I don't know that I've had that problem. All my Shimanos have come perfect, I think. I don't know that I've had a problem with any of my Shimanos. I'm trying to think out of the gate. Jeez. Maybe drag. I want to say that I have had some with some residual oil that messed with the drag and had to clean it out. I'm trying to remember that. Was that the 70 or the 150? I want to say. But otherwise, yeah, all my Shimanos have been good to go. This or that. I like the this or that. So we need to do another this or that episode and get the questions rolling in. Spend a ton of money on a high dollar proven brand or spend less money on lesser known up and coming brands. Depends on what it is. Depends on how much money I'm spending too, like to do. Like for reels and stuff, you got to stick with the better known brands. Lews, Abu, Shimano, Daiwa, 13. Like you can look at the cheap reels on Amazon and stuff, but rods, kind of the same thing for rods. I don't know much of the new rod companies. I guess I would be more willing to try lures and stuff, or I'm not spending as much money. It's not as much of an investment.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go with specifically because I'm not easy on my stuff. Obviously, it's clear, it's been made a point multiple times, but like having that peace of mind when, like, especially when I got my Avid X that snapped that one day when we were out, like I took it and they replaced it. Like it took a while just because of the situation.
And that's something I'm really bad about. I'm really bad at looking at warranties and bringing up warranties because I'm really bad about like using it.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is though, is like
I've got another one.
I didn't have to. All I had to do is take it down to the place where I bought it, and they did everything else.
Well, see, that's a good part of buying local, because if it was Tackle Warehouse or anywhere else, I guess I have done it that way when I've broke rods, and they're very good. Like Tackle Warehouse gives you the return label, but you can get into some kind of muddy waters, like with the Arc deal. I hate bringing that up. I don't like to bash them because the new Arc Gravity reel is pretty badass. It's a solid reel too. Pretty bad rear end. Sorry. Was going to try not to let any obscenities slip tonight. Last weekend we got a little free with them
after punch. The punch,
but yeah, Yeah, that's a good little reel. But yeah, just kind of going round and round about the whole deal with them. Yeah, like you said, buying local, you go to your local shop. I know we had Indian Creek um, outfitters here in Marion, and they had, yeah, he was a Dobbins rod, whatever affiliate. Any troubles with Dobbin rods, you bring him back, he'll hook you up, take care. I was actually in there, and there was a guy that brought one, and he's like, yep, I'll do all the sending back, it should be a week or whatever, and you'll be good. Like, that's one of the benefits of buying local. You can just take it and drop it, say, do all the crap, I don't want to mess with it, and they call you when the new one's in. Very good point, Dizzle.
Do
Not
they have
bad
any
about that.
of those the rods?
Hmm?
Does Denali even make rods anymore? Remember when we were really on that
Yeah,
Denali train, and
yeah,
then
we need to try
I
Denali. Yeah,
couldn't
but
find them
again,
forever?
that was one of those where it's like we didn't really know anything. They seemed like one of the one of those brands is like, I don't, do you take the chance? It's like, I don't even know anymore. So, James, this is an interesting one, man. Yeah, I've had a bunch of questions from people. Am I going to buy one of those? I'm not, because of the price. It's really nice that it's like all bar stock aluminum. They CNC it out of one solid piece of
Dang.
aluminum here. I'll show you. That's one of the reasons I want to try them. I think they're made in Texas, right? Are you in Texas, James? Believe they're made in Texas, and they do look really nice, but I probably will not be buying one right now. Like I said, I'm trying to save for some. Wait, what the hell is going on here? See, this is the new thing I don't like about the site. Why do I have? Oh, you have to do
I
shop all casting. Why
Yeah,
did
I
they
just
change
realized
this?
when I was looking for something that it's horrible.
Yeah, I don't like that change. So here's the baits. That's the new 100 reel, but they have like different sizes, and their names are
Not
kind
my
of
website.
Salty, Abe 150, Rosa, El Jefe. I don't know what the hell the deal is with the names, but yeah, they look like really cool reels. And look at some of the videos online. They show the actual CNC starting with a single block of aluminum, cutting all this out.
Ooh,
And I think the side plates and
$300.
everything are, so yeah, precision cut bar stock aluminum, one piece body. I think the side plates are aluminum too. Because how much does this weigh? Like 7.8. I think it's an all aluminum, which you don't ever find. I mean, Daiwa's got some that, in that $200 price range, where they start doing the aluminum handle side plate, but I don't know if both side plates are aluminum or not, but yeah, cool. And this one I think maybe has this new smaller 100 size, even has some different looking, like rubbery, different knobs on it.
Yeah, those look
So yeah,
weird.
yeah, super good looking reels. I would definitely like to try one, but again, for $375, a little steep for my taste right now. But yeah, they look good.
Mhm.
I've had a bunch of people reaching out and asking. So
I'd like to feel it in hand.
yeah, maybe if somebody has one they want to send over to me to borrow for, it'd probably be more like 3 months to do the review. But yeah, if somebody gets an extra one or something, be cool to look at. Let's see. Company is, yeah, Salina, Texas by Ray Roberts.
Mm.
Oh my gosh,
God,
Brody, I about had to send you a message and ban you for that. He says, I'm kidding. Please don't use cooking oil. I brought that up earlier. I have had, believe it or not, dude, I've had people ask me, can I just use olive oil? I have that at home. I'm like,
they use the spray on butter flavored stuff.
yeah, only if you use, I can't believe it's not butter spray, then you're good. Let's
All that
see.
spritz.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, it's not even like the good aerosol ones. It's like
yeah,
you have to
it's
like
a pump
crank it down.
spray.
It's like, it doesn't even come out. It's like, what the hell? What else? Big game mono. Yeah, I know a lot of people are huge on the big game mono.
I actually picked up a spool of it.
So use mono. Yeah, Rich says I still only use mono. My dad's the same way. He's barely messed with any of the other stuff. But dude, look at the pros that caught hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fish
Mm-hmm.
on mono. It's just got more
And took.
stretch. You just have to account for it. You can definitely get away with using faster rods using mono because you've got the
Mm-hmm.
stretch of the line. You don't need as soft of a rod. Let's see. Oh my gosh. So Chris, actually, funny enough, was joking about this. He put some bait fuel in in some Z-Man plastics and then like a jig in there or something, and it like turned the jig to like utter grossness and like rusted the hook all to hell. I'm not sold on the bait fuel after the initial huge marketing push from them. I haven't heard anything promising from anybody. So um
And that's the stuff that is scentless, right?
scentless, yeah. So we can't
Is
smell it, but it's got whatever in it that the fish can. It comes clear. Then after you keep it for a year, it turns this gross pea yellow. Yeah, I don't know. Not sold on it.
weird.
Not sold. Oh yeah, Yozuri makes good line too. I have had really good luck with the Yozuri line, the
Yeah,
hybrid,
I was
and
just
then
gonna say.
I think the top knot is their fluorocarbon or something like that. Top line, I like that too.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, Sly Fox, that sounds awesome, dude. Slap them for me. Knucklehead Championship was amazing. Standing at the fire with Jeff and Paul. Sounds like fun, man. Tip my hat to all you guys. That sounds like a blast down there. Let's see. Yeah, it is
Hmm.
stiffer. Blind Eye, definitely is stiffer and does have more memory. And with like cast and retrieve stuff, I don't care as much. But like if you're working a jig or a Texas rig, yeah, that definitely comes into play and sucks when you flip your jig out and it's got all those rings waiting out there where you can't feel. Let's see. Yeah, build my own buzzbaits. I've never tried building a buzzbait. That would be interesting. Let's see. Yep, Basky gloves the canine. I must be back here when we were talking about canine.
Mm.
Cortland braid. I don't know anything about. Line diameter. People talking about. We got to the stubby dog talk. Yeah, he caught a 10, dude. How freaking awesome is that? I didn't see what he caught it
That's
on, but
crazy.
let's see what else we got. Let's each take a question here, and then we're gonna call it. I just looked and I couldn't believe we're at an hour 41. Let's see. I got a JDM Zillion a couple of months ago for like 225. Yeah, exactly. You can find some really good deals shopping at some of those places overseas. Rank the Corrados worst to best. I'm actually going to do a video of that. I've got one plan for the SLX and one plan for the Corrados. Need to get my butt doing that. Let's see. Dizzle, get him with the this or that form.
Yeah, I can't remember. Oh, there it
What
is.
was it?
919. This or that, Depot. This one's just for you. Creed or Nickelback?
Oh my god. So we were talking about that. So Creed's coming to concert. I don't remember, somewhere here. Where was it? Monticello, I think, which is not too far from me. But I was like, dude, Corrado. Creed gets a bad rap. They had some good songs back in the day. Like, I don't know why they got crapped on. He's like, Chris, like, yeah, I agree. And then we got talking about that. I'm like, honestly, it's kind of the same with Nickelback. Like, I know a bunch of Nickelback songs and everybody craps on them. And he's like, whoa. He's like, I'm not going that far. He's like, Nickelback sucks. I'm like, no, yeah, I guarantee you sing their songs. Come on. People sing the Nickelback stuff, then they turn around and say, oh, well, it's horrible. Yeah, I know all the words and I'm singing it, but it's horrible. I don't know.
There's just that one stupid song, Rockstar, when they're like singing something, and the dude's like, I want a quesadilla. And just like this low,
What?
stupid voice. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard before in my
Yeah, they've
life.
got like the Photograph one too. That one sucks. But like, it was that their first CD was what, Leader of Men. What was
I
the
don't
first
know.
song off that one? It was called that might have been actually the song. It might have been a different, but anyway, that first one, that was a solid song. I like that one. That was the first song of theirs I ever heard. They've got some good ones. I'll stick up for them. I think they have some good ones out there.
Oh
Ooh,
boy.
Christopher. Okay, here's mine. Dizzle, you have to find your question. This or that.
Okay.
Known high dollar bait companies or local mom and pop bait makers. I 100% believe in both. So the well-known bait companies, you can get, like, the thing they have though is they're all, usually always available. They've got a bunch of crazy stuff. The cool thing with the local mom and pop bait makers is usually because they're a smaller company, they're a lot more apt to do custom stuff. So if you like really have a color that you feel works and like, oh, it was back in an old, I don't know, Berkeley color that's no longer made anymore. Like some of the Motorolls, like you can't find, that used to be one of the top colors back in the day. You know, something like that. Or if you want a special color made, oftentimes they'll throw in stuff, you know, because, you know, you drop a big order with them, a little bit more freedom. So I think it's definitely worth going both ways. Um, each one kind of has their benefits. I know, you know, there's the Indian Creek Lures here. They actually shut down. He was a super nice guy. I can't think of his name. It was we used to work together. But his dad was tournament partners with this dude. Kyle was his name, the owner. Anyway, he would have a local guy that would come in and he did like tubes and worms and lizards and stuff and jigs, but he would like take orders or like take requests. So, you know, if you had one, you know, you could request it with him and get, oh, I want a tube that's black with purple flake or whatever, you know. So you can't call Berkeley and do that, I guess is what I'm getting at. So both. I like both. Dizzle, what about you? Did you find a question here?
I'm still looking for questions. I was.
Okay, I'm going to keep going down. WD-40. Man, use 10W40.
So I saw a video online
Use
once
paint
that
fuel for oil.
somebody had a can of WD-50.
Fish hormones. Oh, wow. Well, listen, both of these guys know 1,000 times more about fishing than me. James said Tactical Bass and Mikey Balls both like bait fuel. Maybe I need to give it a shot. Those guys are 1,000 times better of an angler than I am. So take my words for what it's worth. Right now, people are saying I'm the Nickelback of fishing YouTube is what they're getting at. Ooh, damn, Lightning. That was one I wanted to touch on too. The how do I even word it? The anger of Rapala for copying some of the JDM stuff was large this year at ICAST. Yeah, some of them are interesting. I'm not going to run out and buy them. I'm not that excited, but yeah, some are interesting. What else here? Creed. Lots of people laughing. Metallica. Oh yeah, Metallica is for sure one of my old. I want to say the Metallica Black album was one of my first CDs I got. How about this? This is a question to you and everybody. Do you remember the very first CD that you bought?
It wasn't a single one. It was a BMG buy 9 get 1 free deal.
Oh God. You remember those? You get like 12 and then you would just never pay the rest of the thing. You would get your 12 free ones and
And then they would just send you
yeah,
random.
you would start getting random crap.
Yeah.
Mine was Everclear. My first CD ever that I bought was Everclear.
Oh,
How funny
the
is that?
one I for sure remember in that 10-pack that I got was Warren G regulators.
Mount up. Yeah,
Ooh, and a
Metallica's
mod
Black
back in the day.
album. God, I'm trying to think what some of my other first ones were. I don't know. Long time ago. I've still got some of my old CD things you can flip through. Let's see. I'm a metalhead myself. I do love me some metal, Julie. What else we got here? 80s, you know, okay, worst. Okay, how about this since we're talking about music? Worst genre of music ever. Time and genre.
Anything new.
Dizzle, don't be a hater. There's a lot of good new
No,
music out.
new music is pretty much
Oh,
all of the new music that's being released like today is garbage.
I disagree. There's some really good bands out there. Okay, so anyway, not new. Don't just say new.
Heavily like auto-tuned, like fakey,
Yeah, good call.
garbage.
Yeah. The bad hair bands, for sure, my most hated.
Oh, come on,
Poison,
man.
White Snake. Oh my god, dude. Guns N' Roses.
I remember
Stand them. Can't stand them.
Europe, the Final
Oh
Countdown. That was my
god.
jam. I
I
listened
will
to that. I remember hearing the Final Countdown when I was young, cruising around with my dad, just like, "Bah," like flooring it around. He had a Monte Carlo with T-tops. It was dope. Anyway, I remember that song, and then I listened to it not too long ago, and actually listening to the words. I'm like, what the hell are these guys even talking about right now? Hilarious.
Yeah, I don't. There's some good comments coming through here. Allison Chains, that one I know hits home for you, Dizzle.
Allison
Mac,
changed the MTV unplugged acoustic. That is amazing.
Oh, okay. Here's another one. So what's a type of music that you never used to listen to, but now have respect for it? So mine is I would never listen to any like super singy, like I don't even know how to. Basically, I was hard rock and metal, some country, a little bit of rap, but like any like singy, like wasn't huge into it. And my example, who I have such a huge respect for now, Freddie Mercury, dude.
Hmm.
Talk about an amazing voice. Oh my gosh. We watched the show, whatever that was called, of him with the dude that played. He was in the
Oh yeah,
God, what's his name?
he was in a Bond movie, wasn't he? He was a
Yeah, he
bad
was
guy in a
the
Bond movie.
villain in Bond. I can't think of his name. I had it there for
Hmm.
a second, but yeah, dude. Really, really good music that I never ever appreciated until later. Steve Miller. Oh yeah. Good stuff back in the old days. Megadeth, Janet Jackson. My very first country, I want to say my country CD was the Alan Jackson one that had Chattahoochee and
Way down
uh
yonder.
yeah, way down yonder. That was my first country CD I remember buying. And Garth
Man,
Brooks.
if people were to scroll through my music on my phone, they'd be like, Rami Malek is the guy's name.
Rami Malek,
Just
yes,
Sully said.
correct.
If people were to scroll through some of the music I have on my phone, they'd be like, "What the hell is your problem?" I'm. I'll be honest. I'm a huge Miley Cyrus fan. I just gotta
Yeah.
say it. I'll die on that cross. I don't care.
Oh, oh, Dizzle. Hey, we're talking about music, not your crush here. Music industry pooped the bed around 2001. Man, I disagree. Early 2000s had some, even into the mid 2000s, there was some really good stuff. I don't know.
And somebody just
I
said,
think you have to look harder, Bruce. I think is the thing. Is like there's not as many of the good ones, but I think once you start digging into stuff now, like Ghost has been one of my recent bands that has come out. Awesome
"Ooh,
music. Ghost is really
Awesome
good.
Ozzy Cat says Sublime." Awesome Ozzy, you ever listen to Dirty Heads? Kind of give me that Sublime feel, man.
Let's see. Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, I definitely got into some Jimi Hendrix. Not a ton, but Purple Haze was my favorite Hendrix song. Yeah, I was definitely into the old country, which would have been like what 90s. So like John Michael Montgomery, Garth Brooks, Alan Jackson. That was my favorite country. Garth or not Garth Brooks, George Strait. But like the new
Mhm.
stuff now is not like I don't like that country. All right. Well, listen, we're almost at 2 hours. We're now talking. We need to have a members only and talk music and all kinds of other stuff and go down some gravel roads
Um,
talking about random stuff.
I Frank Sinatra. I'm kind of Frank Sinatra fan as well. Just
Frank is good.
saying.
Oh, probably one of my other ones that I didn't get into later that I didn't respect. Johnny Cash. Huge
Yeah.
Johnny Cash fan now too. So anyway, that's it from us. Happy Saturday. Thanks to all the veterans out there. Appreciate everybody coming to watch us. We appreciate the heck of you guys. Love y'all. We'll be here again next Saturday. Thanks for watching and until next time.